everyone is posting their recap. You know the one everyone will post on the 31st.
Yeah, and guess what? It's all beach and party.
Beach party.
Little videos. Beach party. Beach
1
party.
second. Literally 1 second. You're just there.
You have one video on your phone.
Exactly.
Weeping. So another unspoken truth about the holidays is the mismatched expectations. And I'm saying this in the context of relationships. So here...
I got thoughts. Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's Definitely TMI. I heard you start to sing and I was like, I guess we're singing. Because you said we
should have a song.
Yeah.
Guys, if somebody can come up with a song we should do after our intro, and we can make our little
jingle. Yeah, the way Jackie Aina has Jackie.
Whoever can come up with it, just
something.
send us little voice notes.
Yes.
We
will
Instagram.
Reward you. We promise. We will, right?
Relax.
Oh, no.
You'll be part of the community. You will have brought us together.
Until one day we are multi-million business and they're like, I had patented this song. Then now what are you doing?
I thought you're the person who thinks of the best case scenario.
I don't know. I don't know.
What's happening.
Honestly. Anyway, welcome guys. Welcome so much to this episode. Thank you for clicking on here. Happy December.
Wow.
We've made it to the end of the year. And I want to congratulate you.
Why?
Because you have made it to the end of the year. That's it.
You are alive.
You are alive.
You are alive.
First of all, yeah, you are alive. You have managed every single one of the bad days you guys have had this year. You have overcome and you're on the other side of them.
Oh my God. Are you just?
Are you just?
Yeah.
Sweetie? I'm actually excited to be in December. I feel like I remember last year's December like it was yesterday. Don't you?
Last year's December
I know you remember. Last year's December.
Of course.
We are going through a lot last year in December.
Yeah.
But anyway, so glad that you guys can join us. Happy December. Happy end of the year, guys. Thank you for clicking onto this video or this podcast episode. If you are not already subscribed, kindly subscribe. We are so determined to get to 100K by the end of the year. If we don't, it's like we won't die. Yeah. But if we do,
wow.
We'll actually...
If that's not a TMI year, I don't know what is.
I don't know what is. I'm even concerned about how we're going to top this year next year. But we will. I know that we will.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way. Exactly.
Ways.
Yeah. So please subscribe if you're not already. You can follow us also on our social media pages. Murugi Munyi, Lydia KM, and
TMI Podcast KE.
What are we chatting about today?
Oh, well, December is here, guys. And as much as December is very much about Christmas. Some people started saying Merry Christmas, by the way, at the beginning of November.
Oh, no. In October, even people had their trees up.
Just relax.
Come on.
Anyway, the holiday season is coming and December is very much about that. People are planning to go to shags, to travel with their families, to have vacations, whatever it is. The holiday season is really potent. The energy is very potent. But one thing for sure is that there are many unspoken truths about the holidays that maybe people don't speak of, as we say, unspoken truth. They don't speak about them enough. And we wanted to be, I guess, the ones who have those kind of conversations so that we can prepare ourselves for the other side of the holidays. There's the happiness and the joy and the gifts and the celebrating, but there's another side of the holidays that really needs a bit more light so that we are able to equip ourselves if we are in those scenarios, because it's not every single holiday that's always perfect. And there are many times that the holidays is a triggering, difficult time for a lot of people.
For many people. And the reality is that, I mean, we don't want to be downers. We don't want to be downers on the holidays. That's why we're doing it now. So that now, as we continue, the rest are going to be exciting.
Yes.
But we want those of you who struggle with the holiday season, who feel, as she said, triggered, who feel like this is a difficult season. We want you to feel seen and feel heard. And even we ourselves, there are some negative emotions. Like some of the ones that I wrote down, I was just like, damn, the time is coming. Time is coming.
It's coming.
So yeah, so as we are speaking, do let us know if you can relate in the comments, or, let us know other things that you guys experience that might not necessarily be like super holiday exciting-y, during this season. Should I go first?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So for me, when I thought about this topic, the first and very blatant one that came up for me is the financial pressure that comes from the holiday season. If it is not gifting, if it is not people are going out all the time, every single concert is in December. TMI is going to be selling you merch. People are, Lydia is having events. I mean, so much is happening in December and there's so much financial pressure, which can be a good thing if you are financially stable. But the reality is that a lot of people might not necessarily be, or maybe you just don't have as much as what you imagine other people have. And especially in this age of social media, like you go on and someone has bought their child a house. a house for Christmas. You're struggling with
Only.
pajamas.
Only.
Yeah, just pajamas. Imagine other people have this huge, all this deco and like a tree which is reaching the sky, and you're just like, can you even, get those cute little glittery balls? And it can be difficult.
It can
be really difficult.
That's actually the biggest one.
Yeah.
Right? And because of that pressure, January is like the first week of January has the highest suicide rate.
No.
Yeah.
What a statistic.
I mean, think about it. Christmas period, all the peak, all the intensity, all the family fights, all the money you've spent that you probably don't have any. Boom. January, there they are. How are you?
Oh my God. Not doing so great.
How have you been?
Yeah.
So I completely understand. I guess maybe because I'm not a parent, it's just like it's a different feeling. I don't feel like maybe I'm that in the commercialization of Christmas, but I know I'm really into Christmas. I am somebody who wants to do the traditions and the things. I've just grown up with that. So then that to me really matters. And of course, it costs money. So if you don't have money, it's going to be, you're going to feel like you're not able to really have the season that you want. And of course, if you have if anyone who you know around is probably going to be doing something maybe different from you, but still you feel like, oh, I wish I could do that. And I feel like this one I feel most, as I was sharing with you, for the parents.
Yeah.
Who it's just like,
it can be difficult.
When it comes back, when it's January, all the kids are talking about, what toy, what did you get? And that's just something that, maybe your kids are not going to be able to share. And it devastates me when I think about that.
Honestly, I actually saw a video this morning where this guy was like, the sound is just like someone crying kind of. And it's like when you go on social media and you see a talented person your age and now your life is ruined or something like that, or your day is ruined. And it's like that, like you'll go online and you'll see people have gifted each other. They have done what with their kids. I remember, I think it was our first Christmas when I had Ethan. And I was in uni at that time, obviously. And I obviously didn't have a lot of money. But luckily, I was staying with my mom. So when my parents were like gifting us, they would gift our kids as well. But I did feel that like, I wish I could give you something else. I wish I could it's like my money and I've bought you this thing, kind of thing. So I get that pressure and I get how bad it can feel. What you can do about it, maybe stay off social media for some time.
Definitely.
Because, people will definitely be posting. Maybe someone will post that they have bought their kid this toy and maybe they've been saving for 3 years to get that toy. But all you see is, that person woke up and went and got their kid that toy. And maybe that's not the case.
Yeah. I am having very serious social media boundaries, as I shared a couple of weeks ago. It's just not worth it. And it's not real life. It's not real life. When I spent 1 week off social media, I was like, oh, this is real life. I could easily stop being on Instagram and my life will continue completely like a normal person. Or maybe like I stop the Lydia KM page and like go on something else and life really continues. If you do not put those boundaries with social media, it's going to ruin your mental health. And also you have no idea what the reality is.
You really
social
don't.
Media isn't real life. There's so many things there that you can't really tell what somebody else is going through. One of the things actually that was really difficult for me to articulate with social media is like, you're going through pain. Fine. I am in pain right now, but I am in a full beat. Doing TMI.
And now everyone is like, Lydia, you just bounced back.
Exactly.
You just look amazing.
And like having to constantly be like, oh my God, I was
wish you knew.
hanging on a thread. I just had shit to do because life goes on.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's a massive disconnect between what the experience that person is feeling and what you're seeing. So then you seeing that and having it hurt your mental health for no reason and maybe even change the dynamic in your home and the pressure in your home just because of that. I don't think it's fair. So this, if you don't have social media boundaries,
now is the time. Yeah.
Now is the time.
Absolutely. I would also tell people, especially parents, is absolve yourself of the pressure to get them the most amazing, phenomenal thing. How many times have you gotten your kid this expensive toy and they just want to play with a sufuria or they just want to play with a mwiko or literally like a spoon and a plate? Sometimes what we think our kids need for us to know that, for them to know that we love them is not what they actually need. Even being able to just be there or even, I don't know, you might not be able to afford like a 5-star dinner, but literally take them out to, I don't know, McFry's for chips and sausage or something like that. And they'll always always remember that. It's those small things from
even
your childhood.
us,
Even
what do you
us,
remember?
yeah.
What big gift do you
Really,
remember? I don't remember any big.
You just remember
gifts.
I just remember how my mom would wake us up on Christmas morning, like singing and stuff like that. And that was just so special, you know.
Yeah.
So rest assured knowing that you are the best mom to your kids, or if you're a dad, you're the best dad to your kids, and your best is good enough for them.
Yeah.
Your best will be good enough.
100%.
Yeah.
Of course, we know that it's very it's easier said than done, but that's one of them.
Oh, and also if you're not a parent, but you're feeling pressure about all these parties people are going to, all the concerts, everyone is going out drinking, everyone is whatever. Imagine you don't have to be at every single plan. I know.
That's a pressure I really don't feel.
I also
at
don't
all.
have I don't feel it because I don't have that many friends. But
even with many friends, I just don't care.
But also, is that a 30s thing? Because I remember early 20s, you really feel that pressure of like everyone is going. It's like, Lydia, you're not coming. Lydia, you're not coming.
I mean, what I thought is like the one, if I want to go, that would be crappy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I was a person who has ever been like, every party around Christmas.
Yeah. But remember also social media was not banging when we were in that at that age.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a grown thing. Yeah.
Don't go into debt, guys, in December trying to go for every party. Just plan yourself. You already know what you can afford. If you don't have money for Soulfest tickets, it's fine. You know, just don't go. If you have money for like one hangout a week, stick to that one hangout a week so that we can avoid the January, oh my God, I have no money. I'm already waiting for those memes and I'm tired.
And guess what? I would say create more meaningful memories, right?
Yeah.
So for example, one of the things that really matter to me is to have a full house around Christmas time, because that was the last year was the first Christmas we spent as a couple then with my former partner, and I really like family kind of Christmas, and I didn't know how I was gonna split both of them, because it does. I don't want it to be like, let's go to my family or yours or whatever. So what I did was invite my cousin, she and her husband, and some of our other friends, and we just had a friend mass.
I remember it. It was so nice. A friend mass,
exactly. So that can be intentional without it being overly expensive.
Yeah.
So I think about how can you create more high quality memories, more than just going out where other plans are. You can still create really amazing memories.
You go out, you have fun. You not even have fun. You go out, you spend money, and then you didn't even have fun. The next day, you're just like, why did I even spend that money?
But create your own. Have a game night with your friends, like things which will cost you maybe, if that game might cost you maybe around 2K or something like that.
Yeah.
So another unspoken truth about the holidays is that there's a lot of mourning what was, right? So this could be mourning the loss of somebody, like because last Christmas they were here, and
now
this Christmas
so your first Christmas without them.
Christmas without them, that's usually very difficult. If you suffered a loss of any kind, whether it's a death or anything, if you had something last year that you don't have this time, it's going to be really clear, because this time is very much about togetherness and community and family. So it's gonna feel like that. For me, this Christmas, I'm spending it with my family, thank God.
Thank God.
And I was telling Joe, I don't know what it would have been like to have had a Christmas which was very much about my love in my relationship at that time, and then this year not having that, right? Even if it would have been my family, like even here in Kenya, it would have just been different because I'm here. So then I would have been knowing. Whereas when I'm going now, I feel like that even if in your mind, if you could lie to yourself, you'd say, we're not spending the Christmas together because I'm away to my family, right? Whereas if I wasn't, it would just be such a glaring, missing. And even the fact that I'm going away still has that. It still has that lingering thing of what maybe the expectations you had of this year, because it's automatic to us as human beings. What was last year? Of course, it's going to be there this year. It's going to be there this year, but of course life happens and that's not the case. So there is a lot of people who are going to be either in deep mourning or maybe gentle mourning around this season, because there are some things that just aren't there anymore.
I was going to ask, are you feeling any type of way about that? Or is it, because you're going to your family, you're not really having deep feelings?
That's why I said it's a bit there. It's a bit there in I remember the joy of that time. Yeah. I remember just how warm it was, how much I was so happy and proud to have created new family traditions that I wanted to recreate, because I was feeling, mind you, last year, I was feeling the loss of not being with my family because it was a COVID year. Yeah. So and I knew I wasn't able to go. I wasn't able to go. So I was feeling that gap. So what I did was just bring all of these traditions and, new memories and stuff in my own environment, in my relationship, to kind of make it anew. And it was one of my favorite Christmases
You
ever.
you really seemed so happy. You were so happy last year.
It was such an amazing Christmas.
Beautiful.
And it was an intentional, it's something I did because I was like, okay, you can't go. So now what are you going to do? Do something about it. And I created intentional memories. So it's there lingering just because of how it was. But because now I'm going to be at home with, I've never been to my mom and Tim's new house. There's going to be very many news.
So many news.
So I'm excited for that. But it is
I
there.
like that. Yeah. The first Christmas without something that you had before can be really difficult.
Yeah.
My first Christmas where I spent with Zach's family as opposed to my family, which wasn't even the first year we were married, I think it was the second year, was quite difficult. Between okay, I know you guys, you're my new family and I love you all so much, but you just know, like
my
first family. You're not my first family. Exactly. You're my second family. Is that better?
I think that's better.
Is it? I think so. Yeah, because they're still my family. It's just not the same. And I remember, I don't even think that I kind of enjoyed it, but also at the same time, Mukeni was young. Tana was not yet born, but Mukeni was young. So already it was just like, it felt like a really hectic Christmas. And I'm like, now I don't want to go on the family group because they are posting about how much fun they're having. And I'm just like, I just want to be there. I just want to be there. We haven't even agreed what we're going to be doing for Christmas this year. Yeah. But I completely empathize with people who you get married and now you are like on the other side. And there are some families who like every year you're now spending with his family, which is, that one is like a whole other thing, which I was just like, no, we can't be doing that. And then also, I guess, depending on the tradition. So for me, that was difficult. And if you're going to be going through that, I get the feeling. Yeah. I understand the feeling and I understand how difficult that can be. I mean, literally 30 years of your life, you've been with these people for holidays. And now suddenly they're telling you, wait, no, now it's these other people, you know? But also you don't want your husband to not have that feeling of being with his family. It can just be so much.
My parents used to split it. Like we used to spend Christmas at my dad's and New Year's at my mom's.
Which is what we do.
Yeah. So then it feels somewhere. It's of course in that day of Christmas. On that day, just you feels will be like this is not it. Yeah. What I would say for someone who is mourning what was, of course, if it's something, like deep loss of a family member, that's a grieving stage which you have to go through and you have to breathe through. Yeah, again, have social media boundaries. Do your very best to create a safe space for yourself so that at least you can have the breath to go through that process. Because sometimes the hustle and bustle of Christmas can also bring, like, you don't get to catch your breath, but really all you want is to lie down and do nothing. If that's what you want to do this Christmas, absolutely do it. If this is maybe like this kind of lingering mourning of something like the loss of a relationship or something like that, I would personally say it's the beauty of anything is really up to you to create. And I think I've always had, I always empower myself on creating memories that I want. So I won't sit around and be like, oh, this Christmas is not the same. What am I doing to make it better? Yeah. So create those kind of different memories. And that's exactly what I'm going to do this season. And also I'm going to allow myself to feel bad about it because that was something that was amazing. That was something that was beautiful. There were really good memories. And where else can they go? They live in my head.
Where else can they go?
They can't go anywhere. Yeah. So it's okay for you to just say and be like, you know what? That was a really beautiful time. And it sucks that we're not replicating it this year. But of course, understand all the other realities of why you're not.
Exactly.
But still, it's okay to mourn those memories.
And I like that. I like that, the duality of like, it's okay to feel bad about it.
But do something about it.
So that next year you can remember, you know what, last Christmas wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and guess what? Last Christmas was amazing.
It was amazing. Exactly. Amazing. It can be nice. It can actually be nice.
Yeah.
All right. Another one that I think is an unspoken truth or a difficult part of the holiday season is people who have to work during the holiday season. You have a whole list is the same. People who have to work. For example, content creators. Of course, us, we are from a point of privilege, but November and December are really busy months. In fact, for me, I think of like holiday month is more January than it is December.
That's a pause for content creators,
when the kids are back in school and like I don't have as many clients and it's like I can actually take a few days off. So I mean, and even people who are like in the service industry, people who are people like makeup artists. Sly was telling me she's literally booked through December. Sly is my makeup artist. Literally booked through December. What time are you resting? What family are you spending time with?
She doesn't spend time with her family.
She does,
time.
but like you see, so many people are like getting married 24th, 25th. So many people are going for do Christmas party. I don't know, they're going for what.
Yeah.
She usually takes a break in January as well, which is perfectly fine. You can you can. I mean, the fact that people take breaks on Christmas because there are days which are public holidays on those days.
That's not what you work.
Exactly. If that's when, so now if January is when you get a break, I guess you can always postpone your holiday season to be in January, because I can imagine it can be so difficult. You're just working in the hotel. You're not with your family. You know, it can be really difficult.
It's true. I think last year I took Boxing Day off, and I had crippling anxiety because of working all year. But one day you take off.
It's
now
tough.
I took a week off, so I think I'll still be working. And I guess it's just, as she said, the privilege of doing something that you love and something you can do very easily in your life, so you'll be able to do them both. But I think about that all the time. I remember when we were younger, my mom, I think my mom was working quite a lot, and of course at that time it's like, especially when we first got to England, she's the only one who's taking care of us now. Like everything is our responsibility. And to be able to juggle like her job, which sometimes she worked at night and sometimes she works in the day, to then you'll also be present with these two girls who have just kind of been through a shit ton in the last 2-3 years, and then be present and still give them everything that you want financially, and juggling,
after flying them across the world,
and juggling all of that was was really difficult. And there are sometimes we had to understand that maybe mom won't be around on Boxing Day. She really did always try, because a lot of jobs you're going to get paid way more if you choose to work on Christmas Day or on Boxing Day. So she's thinking about the financial, like, I can do something good for you in New Year's, but for you as a child, you're thinking, mom is not here at Christmas. But eventually, because they're going to need to learn the realities of life, you do come to understand, and you think, oh, by the way, when January came, the lights were still on. And that's because maybe she did go to work and she did make that sacrifice. So all I can say, I guess, is just to try and work around that in a way that is suitable for your family, even in the long run, even in that moment. It feels like it's a gaping hole because you're having to work, but there's bigger goals and bigger moments in your family life apart from this holiday season.
Yeah, exactly. I had thought of a point just as you were speaking, and now I've completely forgotten it. But I would say if you're able to slow down,
great.
Slow down also. But if you're not able to slow down, trust that the universe is going to work things out. Have actual conversations with your kids, because sometimes people don't do that.
And manage expectations.
And manage expectations, and just be like, unfortunately, I'm going to have to work at this time or whatever, even with your partner, because I can imagine if my husband worked somewhere where he had to work on Christmas and I have no nanny or whatever, which is a point coming soon to a podcast near you right now. I would feel upset if you've not taken time to be like, I know it's difficult that, I'm not going to be able to be here with you. But, make me understand that it's for the betterment of the family, obviously. Also, I realized that as a businesswoman myself now, I'm always so conscious of that, because I realize that many businesses, I don't know if this is just a Nairobi thing or a Kenya thing, they are always open even on public holidays, even on Sundays. And I'm always like, no, we are closed on Sundays. We are closed on public holidays, because I love for my employees to be able to enjoy those times, So even Christmas, we'll definitely close for Christmas. We'll definitely close for New Year's, because I want them to be able to experience that. And no judgment to people who are business people. But for me, it's like, I'm going to put my employees first. Like customers do come first, but also my employees need to be taken care of,
It's true. Yeah. All right. I get that.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn.
So another unspoken truth about the holidays is the mismatched expectations. And I'm saying this in the context of relationships. So here...
I got thoughts.
So depending on how you were raised and what the experience was for you around the Christmas holidays, you're coming with those expectations, right? You're coming with, for me, the way I was coming with it's like pajama mornings and, gifting and having a Christmas dinner and sitting around the TV and watching our favorite show together. I am coming from that, right? And then, of course, you meet someone else who is just like,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? The lack of the lack of spirit of Christmas was really like intense for me. So what I decided at that time was like, I don't want to implode.
To leave him.
I won't implode.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is like understand that it's just a difference in expectations.
Yeah.
This is not somebody who's going out of their way to make this harder. This is not somebody who's even blocking me. They're not saying that let's not do what you want to do. They're open to it. So I am just going to do our traditions, my personal traditions, because I wanted Christmas to have like more oomph and excitement, right? As long as the other person obviously is not like pushing back and is like, no, I don't like this. But that's a real thing. And if maybe your partner is really like, this is just like, we are just wasting money. What is this? If that's the idea, this could be a really difficult experience, because for you in your mind, you are not living out the truth of what this holiday season is about. And it's hard.
It can be so hard. And this is definitely one of those conversations people need to have when they're dating, because it's an easier conversation for you to be like, okay, you stay at home and do nothing. And me, I've gone to spend it with my family the way we would ordinarily spend it. That's a lot easier when you're dating. But now when you're married and you're from the same house, it's not like I'm going to be like, okay, me, I want to decorate this half of the house and you don't decorate that half of the house.
You have to agree.
So definitely have those conversations when you're dating as early as possible, so that you can at least know. For us, Zach's family, they do celebrate Christmas, but it's like my family probably, it was like a bit more intense. Like we would do like the Christmas tree and Christmas decorations. They never used to do that. We would definitely do gifting on Christmas morning, which is something that he was just like, gifting in general was not something that he was used to. But like after meeting me now, he knows that there's gifting. Also, his family is like the kind for like, it's Christmas morning and we're like, hey guys, we meet for lunch somewhere. Whereas my family, it's like a month before. We have already talked about it. People have already saved towards it. Now we are all going. We're even discussing colors, like what are people wearing kind of thing. I appreciate the fact that even though he wasn't raised like that, which I appreciated, I was like, people are raised differently. It's not like I'm judging you. It's just that, and who is more tied to the way they celebrate Christmas?
Yeah.
Because
who's
if you're passionate about it, because if he was really passionate about doing nothing, then that would be a problem.
Or pushback.
Yeah, or pushback. Like, no, I don't see this is dumb.
I don't want my kids to do this.
This is definitely a dating conversation that people need to have, because that one could really create so much tension, especially if it means so much to you.
Yeah.
Given, of course, all these things around Christmas trees, Christmas pajamas and whatnot is a very Western idea and ideology. And a lot of us have gotten it from movies. But for me, it's like, it's not causing any harm. It's just fun.
It's
so
just
fun. And
it
for me,
is.
exactly. And I can see how maybe if someone has like a really hectic job, the thought of even doing anything on Christmas just feels like, why aren't we just resting kind of thing?
This is so triggering.
It's so nice.
What do you mean?
Like, what are you doing? You're resting.
It's time. It's go time.
Not go time.
It's go time.
Get the fuck out and put that red shirt on before I put it on you. Yeah. So understand where your partner is coming from, but I hope that they'll have some leeway for understanding. And also don't have the conversation on the 10th of December.
As long as the other person is open, you just take the lead because it's you who's into it. Don't expect them to have the same level of excitement and
that's
about
unfair.
Christmas.
That's unfair.
It's unfair, and it's not something that's really in them.
Yeah. And if you have an expectation that your partner should buy you a Christmas gift, please just stop waiting. Please speak it. And like by now, me, I've already sent Zach, like, these are the things that I would want. This is where you can get them. This is how much they cost. And I know it didn't sound as romantic. You just want to be like, oh my God, you got me something. It can still be nice.
It's romantic to yourself because you're avoiding the disappointment and the inevitable fight.
Please, So if you're expecting a gift, Mazi, just tell him now it's not too late. Today is the 7th. So he still has 18 days.
Or
she has 18 days, exactly. So just tell them so that they can know.
Yeah, I get, as I said, gifting is not really my love language like that, but I want like things to open.
Yeah.
So sometimes
just for fun.
sometimes I'm not even that concerned about what it is, as long as it's something that is like, okay, you thought about this.
Exactly.
So you guys can always discuss if this kind of comes with the financial pressure we talked about, you guys can give each other budgets. This happens actually, like maybe if you're doing Secret Santa or something, there's a budget cap. So that nobody...
We should do it for TMI. We should do it for TMI.
Oh my God. Yes, we're doing Christmas.
Okay, awesome.
Anyway, so we're going to... So what you need to do is like maybe cap a budget just in case it's like around that time where maybe people don't have that much money or whatever the case may be, just something cute. It could be literally even 1,000 bob. I remember we were working in Hebrew.
I remember we did that.
Yeah, we did a Secret Santa and I think the cap was like something like 500 bob or something. Yeah. And I made... this kind of words of affirmation
is always overdoing, and that's what I don't like about her. Honestly, you guys, I just have to tell you because I was just like, let me go sentimental because like 500 bob. I was thinking, who shall not be named, got me some like little storage like jars, small storage jars, like from Miniso, which is not bad, but it was cute. Functional. Yeah. And there's Lydia making a whole affirmation chart. That was the point at which I was like, can I really be friends with this person? I don't know.
And here you are.
Here I am. Bloody hell, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with the mismatched expectations, I feel like it also provides an opportunity to experience Christmas in a different way. In a new way. So sometimes we should also not be so tied to, I have always celebrated Christmas like this. Be open also to like, what else, what other traditions that can he bring to the table or she bring to the table that I could enjoy, you know, because you may have always done it this way, but maybe another way it could be different.
Yeah, but mourn that and go through those emotions.
Lydia is not ready for that conversation.
Go through the fact that it's not the way it was, and they are not as hyped about this as you are. Mourn that gently, but then proceed.
Or how can we merge those two things? You know, instead of you usually will paint your house red, and he usually doesn't paint. So now can we paint pink?
Yeah,
because it's in between red and nothing.
Or can we paint a wall?
One wall. There we are. Compromise, ladies and gentlemen. Compromise. All right. So another negative aspect of the holiday season, I don't know if it's the holiday season or more just the end of the year, is that it's a reminder that another year has gone by and you may not have achieved what you wanted to achieve that year. That is such a heavy one. Like, people are now at the end of the year and they're like, wow, this year, everyone is posting their recap. You know, the one everyone will post on the 31st.
Yeah, and guess what? It's all beach and party.
Beach party.
Little videos. Beach party.
Literally 1 second. You're just there.
You have one video on your phone.
Exactly. Weeping, exactly. Because maybe all year, all you've spent it doing is like trying to heal from a breakup that happened in January. And maybe now you're in a good place, but social media can make you feel again like you haven't really done much. Or maybe,
where has your year gone?
Where has your year gone? Or you start feeling like, oh, this year I had wanted to start that business. I had wanted to do this. And it can be really difficult, like interacting with people. Maybe a family member who you spoke with last year and you had told them, oh, you had introduced them to your man and now your man is not here. Yeah. And now it's just like, oh, I'm single
and then,
yet
and
again.
Everyone being like, oh, where is this person? Where is this person?
You're still not pregnant. You're still not pregnant. Oh, yeah. What is happening? Oh, you've put on weight. Like so much about maybe you had said, like, this is the year I'm going to lose weight. But alas, you're 10 kgs heavier. Oh. Now what's happening?
Oh God. Yeah,
I know. Such a reminder.
And then also it's that end of the year feels like, so here we are. You said this was your year.
You said this was your year.
You said this was your year.
Has it been?
This is now December.
Has it been?
You know one thing which I said when I came out of the worst of, like, you know, my tough, difficult time at that time, I was just like, how am I going to make this my year despite a breakup? I'm serious.
2 months to the end of the year. How can this still be my year?
And look. Yeah. So I was like, how can I want to get to the end of the year and just be like, yeah.
And the defining thing about that year was the breakup.
That was it.
Yeah, right now so much.
So many things have
the
happened.
Awards, Spotify.
Oh
I mean, a lot has happened.
So many things have come out of it that
You're
was just
so
like,
right. Yeah.
Like the pain was not the defining part, but I totally understand what that is, because it slows you down. Pain slows you down. It slows down your creativity. It slows down your, like, you know, money making energy, and it can really determine a year. And I would personally say this, depending on the support that you had and the circumstances around the pain that you're going through, I would say you have to give yourself grace. If we are at 7th December, just give yourself grace. Let's say this one was for the God.
Yeah, honestly. And I said this on my story actually, well, now at this point that you're watching this is a few weeks ago, is that maybe you don't have to end the year as in top 40, under 40 and having been the top of which award. Perhaps you can just end the year peaceful, at peace with where you are, or in a better mental headspace than you are at the beginning of the year, or, you know, just happy. Maybe you could just end it happy, but whatever it is, don't feel the pressure like now you have to be like, the only thing that makes the end of the year is literally, it's just counting, but there's no difference between December and January. December is just December and January is just January. So it doesn't mean that time is over now and whatever you had wanted to achieve now, you absolutely can't. That being said, I don't know if I'm looking forward to our episode for looking back on our goals for 2022. Why? I mean, some of them, yay. Others, not so yay. But anyway, we'll chat about it on that episode. So be sure to be here end of December. But yeah, it can feel really difficult, especially when people are asking you questions and whatnot. And I would say, especially if you're going for those family events where you know you're going to be asked questions about, okay, so what are you doing? You're still in that business. I thought, Ama, you started just, I don't know, draw boundaries about conversations you're willing to have and conversations you're not willing to have. You don't have to participate in any 2022 recap. You don't have to have a conversation with someone about where your business is if you don't want to. You don't have to talk about your weight. You don't have to talk about anything that you have or haven't done. Really.
Yeah. Do you know what that lines up to with my next one? One of the unspoken truths about this holiday season is the other side of being around your family. And I think Murugi has touched on this quite a lot. You know, people do kumbaya all the time. God knows I am Mrs. Kumbaya when it comes to my family. But there's the other side, the other stuff, right? There's the person who you brought last year isn't here. There's your shosho constantly telling you, "Joyous kare hore," which means when is the alcohol going to be brought? As in, AKA, when are you going to get married? Literally every time I see her.
Oh my.
And
it's like, Shosho, I have not met a husband between last week and this week's.
My Shosho of my dad's side, her sometimes it's difficult to tell her. But my Shosho on my mom's side, I told her, because she was more like, oh, where is he? How's Diani? That kind of way. So she's easier to have because she even asks, what happened or whatever. But I know this Shosho is going to be more like another end. Another end. Wow. So she's a lot more difficult to communicate with. And then also there's a lot of things that are triggering about being around your family. For example, if you had a different identity growing up, a lot of your families want you to stick there. So if you're a new person, it's always kind of you're pushing against the wall. If you're an independent grown-ass woman, your older sisters are still treating you like a child. If maybe you are the one who maybe used to be the one who eats all the time, but now you're like, health conscious. They want to keep reminding you about those memories, which can be difficult and kind of make you feel sad and shameful about maybe the way you used to be before. If it's a matter of you're divorced or whatever, in this situation, now you're with your kids this time. Last time you were with your family's husband. People are just like, oh, now you're back. There's so many things about family that sometimes they don't mean to be toxic and they don't mean to put pressure in your life, but they absolutely can be. Or maybe you do have somebody in your family who is like maybe problematic. You like all the rest of them, but then there's this one person who you have to deal with.
Uncle.
Yeah.
Everybody has that.
You have about
everybody has that. For me, the holiday season, especially if we spend it with my husband's family, sometimes we have Ethan with us, sometimes we don't have Ethan with us. And when we don't, it's just such a constant reminder that he's not there, because so many people keep asking, oh, where's Ethan? Surely he couldn't even be with you for Christmas. And I'm not about to start explaining, his dad is also an equal parent and he deserves to have his son around Christmas. So that whole now explaining, and some family members are still like, I don't even understand why does he need another dad when we have this amazing man here. And it's like, sometimes it just gets so triggering because it's like, you don't think I'm missing him? If you're missing him, now me, his mother, I'm also missing him, So it can get so annoying. But I feel like the more time goes by, the more I've learned to just smile and end the conversation as quickly as possible. And that's something I would tell people to do. Or sometimes just if it's someone who's older, like maybe my mom-in-law or
just
someone,
breathe.
I just breathe and I let them go through the thing, because I'm not about to start having a back and forth boundaries at reward. If it's someone who's like my age, I'll just be like, but I'd prefer not to talk about that right now, or just end the conversation. Or if someone is saying something that makes you feel bad, be like, you know what, that's a bit unkind. I would prefer if we don't talk about my weight or something like that.
Definitely.
And just end it. Actually, you have to really just be in control of what you allow in your space, even though it can be difficult when family is around.
I'm trying to think if I have a direct example, except for now my shosho with the whole marriage thing. And I think because I'm really empowered about the decisions I make, if it's to be in a relationship or not to be, it's like, I know it's like you eventually you'll be fine. It's like, I just allow it to be or whatever, especially the time when I didn't really want to talk about it. I just like, they're coming. So whatever it is that is bringing those kind of memories, please breathe through it, draw boundaries as Joe said. And guess what? The holiday season is not forever. January is like tomorrow.
January is coming. Literally, Actually, the holiday, it feels December feels simultaneously long and super short at the same time.
It's actually very short, but the hype and all the build-up is what makes it long.
And then because there's things happening every day, like today, okay, we're going to see this auntie's house for dinner, and then we're going to another one's for lunch tomorrow. Then the next day you're going, out with your family. Like, it just feels like a lot is happening. So
Forever
it's like,
and ever. It never ends. But really, it's actually not that long.
It is. And I would really encourage everyone to, if you can take a pause in the middle of the madness of December, imagine because sometimes you end up being in so many events in December that come January, you are so tired. It's like you're exhausted now because you have been
especially
in every
those
single
aimless days.
The aimless
take a
days.
break.
Yeah, take a breath and just relax if you can. I appreciate that not everyone can, but do it if you can. But yeah, if you're struggling with toxic families, definitely, I mean, I empathize, especially if like the toxic family member is your mom or your dad. That can be really difficult because like, are you not going to see your mom and your dad, over Christmas? So that would be difficult. Are you planning to see your dad over Christmas?
No. See, I'm going to go.
Oh, you're going to be
Bristol. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have. If I was here, maybe. Yeah. I'll probably have gone to see both families.
Yeah.
Which you would have probably been there or something like that. Yeah. So
it's mine
another.
now.
Huh?
It's mine now.
Oh, sorry, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Carry on. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Okay, fine. The next one, which I was going to mention, is now that we talked about drunk uncles and we talked about, there's always that drunk uncle.
I'm taking your drink.
Yeah, feel free, sweetheart. I love to share, except my man.
Oh God.
So one of the things that I know is a struggle point, especially over Christmas, is people who struggle with addiction.
Yeah.
And especially the whole alcohol. The alcohol culture in Nairobi, by the way, is very toxic. Can we just say, because I feel like it's very toxic sometimes.
Say if people who are doing partnership.
But you see, they're part in the partnership that people don't ever see.
Carry on.
Yeah, no, I think the part in the partnerships that people don't see is drink responsibly, drink within reason, because I feel like it's said in almost every single post that people put up, but people seem to ignore that part. And in December, that's when the most drunk driving cases are. That's when many people are dying of accidents. Exactly. That's when people who are in addiction, and of course, that's something which is dear to my heart because I do have family members who struggle with addiction, and my mom runs a rehab center. So that's a season where people are really struggling because you're going for so many events, people are drinking, and you can't expect people to, you're at an event, you want people not to drink so that you're not triggered. Of course, there might be some triggering. So it requires so much self-control from people. And to be honest, I feel like it can get really difficult for some people. Yeah.
I can't even imagine it to have the season have so much push towards something which you're fighting against. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
All of the advertisements of alcohol and all of these things and parties and concerts, as you're saying, it's like, it must be really difficult. I know that there's a family member who, one of the things is like they mentally prepare, right? So instead of it catching you off guard, because it's like, oh no, I'm going to be fine. If you do have like somebody who's like in AA and is an AA sponsor, have them like ready, prepared on speed dial to be like, I know this is going to be triggering. Let me be a bit more intentional. Let me be a bit more forceful around that. Plan your plans already when you're in your calm, collected, non-reactive state, so that when the time is there, you will be following through from the plans of the person who kind of, I guess, was thinking about you now, as opposed to, let's see what December goes. Now somebody wants to go to a club. Yeah. Now somebody wants to go to a concert. And when you're making the impulsive decision at that time, you're less likely to make a sound one.
Yeah.
And also the repercussions of the families who are dealing with a family member who is going through addiction. That's even, I won't say that's even harder, but that is a difficult thing as well, because it's like you know what's coming, but really it's not really in your control. I would also advise to get yourself prepared, whether you're going to start counseling or at least have some tools to prep you in preparation for what sometimes is going to come. And if it doesn't happen, amazing. But if it does, you're prepared.
Yeah. And also, I mean, the feeling of you would really love to be spending Christmas with this person, but you know that the addiction is going to make it difficult for you to do so, kind of thing. Yeah. That part is, it feels almost like it was a death, because it's like every time they relapse, it's like a death of that person that you know. And now there's this other person who doesn't feel like it's your family member. And that can be really difficult.
Yeah, it can't. Please be mindful this Christmas. If you do know that there's somebody who's battling with depression, or even any any mental health problem, to be honest. If you do know somebody who is, you can maybe be a bit more proactive on how you're going to support them, what helpline you can use, maybe doing some plans which don't involve what they're battling around, just so that they can feel a bit more included and they can feel like somebody is thinking about them. And also, somebody is thinking about them and somebody is there for them. I would say this maybe goes for even anyone who has any mental health issues. Extreme happiness, extreme sadness are all triggers of mental health. It's not just like, it's just the extremes that can trigger you. So maybe set some things aside or some tools aside to be able to help you around this season.
Yeah, it really annoys me, this culture of like, you'll see people out and like, maybe I've decided I don't want to drink because maybe secretly or silently I'm battling, like I don't want to be addicted to alcohol, but we've gone out and someone's just like, no, you have to drink. But give this guy a shot. You have to have a shot. And it's like, if someone has said they don't drink, imagine, it's fine. I don't know if people who are drinking alcohol sometimes feel triggered by people who are not drinking. And I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like let's let people do what they want to do. Let people enjoy how they want to enjoy or not enjoy how they do want to enjoy. Also, people who struggle with like overeating, overindulging. The Christmas season can be really difficult. You're struggling with like, oh, I don't want to gain weight. And then in January, my jeans are not fitting or whatever.
Or if you have an eating disorder.
Or you've worked so hard to lose weight through the year and now you feel like you're losing control. Again, as Lydia said, I feel like have someone who can keep you accountable, who you can always call and be like, okay, I'm really struggling with this. Or if you have a health coach or someone, something like that. If you DM me, I can be able to refer you to some, if that's something that you struggle with. But yeah, holiday season can really... Actually, the more we talk, I'm just like, is there anything good here? Fun?
Is there anything good here? I'm going to say though, maybe on the weight thing, and I guess I'm saying this because I don't struggle with it. I just feel like people just need to be allowed to just do what's happening.
And just
the body we see in January is the body we see in January. I mean, imagine, no?
Imagine,
I'm going to my mother's house. You think me I'm going to be like, oh, let me have one pea.
One.
I'm having the whole cake.
You're gonna eat it.
Another unspoken truth about the holiday season is the difficulty with separated families. And obviously, I know this all too well. Sorry?
I'm saying, I had spoken a bit about that when I talked about Ethan.
Oh, okay, right. So when my parents were together, obviously at the time when I was younger, it was, all of us, Christmas, cousins, going from that experience to where do you, like, what do we do? Especially if it's the first one after a divorce. Let's say if it's you who's getting divorced or if it's your parents who are getting divorced, that first one after that divorce, and maybe we talked about the loss of it, it's the logistics.
No, literally, just
it's more the logistics more than anything. The logistics of how this is going to go can be extremely difficult. If it's a fresh divorce, chances are there's some acrimonious feelings there. There's some difficult, there's a, where is mommy, where is daddy, whatever. The kids. Yeah, because they don't know what's happening. It's extremely difficult to navigate around that. When I was doing a better breakup workshop, one of the biggest things was, how do you navigate the dynamics between you and your in-laws, them wanting to see your children, you wanting to be able to draw boundaries for yourself because you're no longer part of that family. And now is a Christmas season. Now is a Christmas season. There's so many things I could talk about this season that's really difficult, where we've evolved. The last Christmas, my sister was here, and what we did, and I guess because we have the luxury of my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family, like the villages are literally like 15-minute drive. So then we just go to my mom's side, we just spend some of the time there, and then we just drive there. And now that's just come to be expected.
That's what
because you don't want to miss out on any of them. But as much as you're having two, what it feels like is like you're having half of each. People don't talk about that. You think you're having
leaving
both.
That other one when the fun is just getting fun, and then
you're going to this other one. Everyone is resting because they just had all the food. You in a lot of situations where you have to split yourself, you get half of each experience more than two of them. And it can be really difficult. It's something that's going to take maybe therapy and counseling around this kind of topic for you who's going through a divorce, for your kids. They can maybe talk to someone about, kind of navigating some of those really big emotions that they might not be able to conceptualize at this young age. But that one is a tough one. Or maybe it's the first Christmas where your kids get to be with your ex-husband.
That one I cried, man.
Yeah? But guess what? Maybe who were you with when that first happened?
with Zach. I was already
now
with Zach.
Imagine you and you're not. You are
And
being
you're
left
just
at
by
home.
yourself.
And you're single, maybe you don't have a new relationship, and that's just something that needs to happen.
It's really difficult. And I feel like no matter which party you are in that equation, it feels difficult. Because if you are the one who your kids are the ones who are not being able to spend time with their dad, it feels bad, especially if they're asking, where's daddy? Stupid kids. Where's dad? See what? Why can't we be with dad? I don't even understand. Come on. Or if you are the one who has gone through this experience, maybe even your ex has gotten a new partner. And they're in their Christmas pajamas.
Oh, of course they are.
They're in their
on
Christmas.
On their Instagram. Morugi's Instagram.
In their
Christmas pajamas.
But this year, guys, we don't do Christmas pajamas. We do something else.
I won't be here, but we're going to do Christmas pajamas as a family. But not the matching ones, but Christmas pajamas.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, also, I was going to say that when you're older, like now, do you feel like it's more difficult for you, or do you feel like it was more difficult when you were a child and you didn't have a say about like, oh, do I go to mom's place or dad's place? Do you feel like it's easier now that you're an adult and you get to choose?
Sometimes I feel like being a child from a separated family is like, it feels like, I've been doing this for how long?
No,
you just remember how long you have been in a really abnormal setting, because especially in the beginning, it was really abnormal. It's like, what do you mean? What's happening? You know?
So Ethan is going to feel that way when he grows up.
When he goes, how long has he been doing it? Yeah. Maybe he might.
Encourage me, please,
I'm
bitch.
Sorry. He's going to be perfectly fine. This is...
My God.
But guess what? He's in an age where this is very common. Almost everyone's parents are split up. Yeah, almost always.
And I feel like with and this is one of the things I was going to say in terms of like being able to navigate that situation is the fact that we have this parental responsibility agreement, which is something I talk about on my platform all the time, is having a legal document that shows you where is Christmas going to be spent, how many weeks of the holiday are going to be spent with him and spent with me. At least it removes the element of the back and forth fighting about, no, he needs to come here. No, last time he was, at least it removes that element. So we know well in advance, like by June, I know that he's not going to be with us or he's going to be with us. I love that at least we have that.
Yeah.
And I do my best to at least paint, like even anytime that I have a disagreement with his biological dad, I would never do that in front of Ethan or like for him to ever feel like there's any animosity between us. And I would really recommend that people do that. Like if you're fighting, go fight in private, but let the child not be the one who's like in the middle or in the forefront of, you know.
I would say that you and Ethan's dad have done an incredible job.
Thank you.
At trying to give him the most stable, consistent, because even he knows somewhere this timetable. Yeah. So kids thrive on consistency.
They really
whereas
do,
a lot of our back and forth or, you know, where do we spend Christmas, stuff like that was all over the place. It was just kind of like, we shall see.
Let's wait.
You know, let's wait and happen.
Yeah,
and that's because
be
maybe
tough.
one party was not really able to be as, you know, kind of peaceful and deal with it in a bit more in a way that's a bit more amicable. So that kind of consistency and just knowing might be a situation which is a lot better. And then of course, as I said, more people's parents are not together than they are.
Exactly.
So he won't feel so much as the other. It will be more like, oh, your parents are still together. Weird. Cycle.
Let's change that with okay, for me it's already late, but like with people like
but you can do that for Mukeni and Mutana.
I guess so. I guess we can. But speaking of kids, my last point is that, you know, nannies go away on holiday.
Every time Joseph, my nanny is not around.
My nanny is not around. But actually, the last few years, what I've been doing is I get a replacement nanny, and that makes everything better. But I realize that not everybody is able to do that, and not many people will trust, like, oh, this is just a new person that I'm getting for just this time. So, I mean, nanny being gone can be really difficult for so many reasons. For me, it's not even as much the taking care of the kids. It's more like the other things that the nanny does, like the washing the dishes, washing the clothes.
Oh, no,
cooking.
No, stop.
It's just so
Stop
much.
it right now.
And I told you, they have eaten breakfast, now they need snack, and now it's lunchtime, and they need snack again, and now it's dinner, and it's after dinner
my
snack.
Dishes, let alone our community dishes.
Because we cooked, and then now the ones that people ate on. It actually can be so much. I really thank God for Zach, because he's such a proactive partner, and it's not like, oh, can you help me with this? It's just like, these things need to get done. So what are you doing? What am I doing? Kind of thing. So I love that about him, but I know how difficult that season can be with people being without their nannies. Also, when the child is slightly older, it feels better. Like now, I feel like this year I won't struggle as much as last year. Even when we go on holiday, I just feel like it's gonna be it's going to be kind of like a breeze because Tana is like a whole person now.
She is. She's a whole grown adult.
I have a teenager in Tana, so that's pretty nice. But it can get overwhelming, guys.
Yeah, especially maybe that's why, like, let's say if you do work 9 to 5 and maybe the person who helps you is like maybe your mom or something like that, and then now it's the holidays. It's the time when you really want to be like, here you are. It's the other full-time job which you have to deal with, and it can be really overwhelming, especially without any kind of help.
Any help. I would recommend that if you have more than one nanny, like you have maybe 2 or 3, you can stagger their leave days so everyone gets some rest without everyone being gone at the same time. So that's one thing. You could also get a replacement of like someone who not necessarily coming to watch your kids, but like who could come and clean the house, do the cooking, I feel like and whatever.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Because otherwise, why are we suffering?
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
That's the one.
I'm getting prepared. I'm getting mentally just ready for doing that because I'm not going to suffer.
Okay, fine. Well, you've heard it here first.
You've heard it here first.
Exactly. As much as we've shared all of these things, we are going to have a very upbeat episode about the holidays. We swear, it's coming. The upbeat
what
episode
is that topic?
Is coming of the holidays. Yeah. Something like funnest thing to do for Christmas or something really upbeat to be able to balance out what we've talked about. But I think we always want to be that platform where we're having those kind of conversations that are going to comfort as many people as possible. So when we are having this celebration, what Christmas things are we going to do? Those people are heard. But the people who are going to be having this difficult time, we also want you to know that we are aware that that's part of it. We are aware that people are going through this around this season so that we can, everyone gets to be heard and has the opportunity to see what they can do to have a better holiday. Maybe not a perfect one, but at least a better one.
Exactly.
So the upbeat episode is coming.
Yeah. And as TMI, because we're going to be giving you episodes all through the holiday season, we want to at least tuko pamoja.
Yeah.
Okay. We are holding your hand and we really do hope that everyone has a really, really fantastic holiday season, or at least a restful one, or at least an okay one. At least an okay one.
Or at least the time passed.
And the time passed and now it's January.
Well, whichever the one you're going to have, you just be intentional about it. And as Murugi said, we are obviously shooting this, maybe nowhere near at the time that is being aired. Yeah. But it's because everyone is so busy around this time, and people, obviously even our production team, people want time off and all of these things. So we wanted to make sure that we have recorded as much as possible so that we can be with you all throughout. So that when it's the 21st, that week is the 21st. Yeah. The 21st, the 28th, we're going to be there with you.
We'll be there, guys.
TMI, Wednesday at 12 p.m. There's nowhere we are.
Exactly. Right and now when you go to Shags this Christmas season, be sure to tell your shosho to subscribe to TMI. Yeah. Tell even the drunk uncle, tell him to subscribe to TMI. Just bring our numbers.
Bring us together.
Just bring us together. Numbers. Exactly. Tell guys in the village that they can also enjoy our content, guys.
It's true. We're trying to hit 100K, guys. 100K by the end of this month.
Yeah.
Help us.
Oh, right? This month. I was like, this month? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, this month. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go and follow us on our social media pages, Murugi Muni, Lydia KM, and TMI Podcast KE. We'll see you in our next episode.
Bye.